Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? You want to know how the video is being shot? It's being shot, can't speak tonight, on the back of my iPhone 12. So the last video I was shot on the front of the iPhone 12. This video is being shot on the back, so you can compare the difference. Of course, my name is Kent. The channel is EOS San Diego, and I make videos about the blockchain. And today's a pretty interesting day for me. Actually, a milestone day for me, because today I noticed I crossed 5,000 subscribers. So that's a big deal for me, because I've looked at that number for a long time, 5,000, and for a long time it didn't look like it was even going to get close. But now today I have 5,000 subscribers. So everybody that's ever subscribed to this channel, I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me, even though I probably put up 1,200-1,300 videos and I only got a few thousand subscribers. But I do interact with a lot of people from this channel, and it's been a lot of fun for me, and I've enjoyed it. Even though, like I say, I'm not a big YouTuber, and nor do I have a lot of following. But I got enough following that it's fun for me, and hopefully it's fun for you. So if you've ever subscribed to this channel or watched one of my videos, I have a lot of appreciation for you, and thank you very much for doing so, because it has been a good thing for me to do. I've enjoyed it a lot. And actually, the reason we called it EOS San Diego was way back when block producers were being chosen for EOS. They would always use their location as their block producer name, like EOS Brazil, EOS Sweden, EOS the Philippines, or whatever it is. So we were just EOS San Diego. We were originally going to try to become block producers, and we assumed that we were really wanting to develop an application, because we wanted to do it on Ethereum, and then we decided gas fees and all that was going to be too difficult. So then we saw EOS, we decided to do it. So in the beginning, we were going to build an application and be block producers, and we were block producers for a while, and I think we still run a node. Can't remember, but we're not putting a lot of effort into it. So that's how we got to be named as EOS San Diego. I've thought about changing the name over the years, but just because of the history, I'll just keep it EOS San Diego. So tonight, I want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin seems to be on everybody's mind, especially since we were in the stratosphere of getting close to $60,000. And I got a train coming through, so it's a typical video for this area. So we got $60,000 Bitcoin coming up here real soon, and everybody's kind of like thinking about. There we go. That's definitely got to be, the way that sounds, that's the Bitcoin train right there. So 60 grand. So everybody's kind of like trying to figure out where if it's worth buying in at this point. And I know a lot of people think it's pretty rich blood at 60,000. But to me, honestly, I think it's really less speculation to buy now than it would have been a year ago, or 6 months ago, or like I think a year ago. Google wasn't even allowing crypto ads. Facebook wasn't allowing crypto ads. Bitcoin really hadn't gotten mass adoption. And even though I've seen, my son has shown me screenshots of when he bought Bitcoin at $300, the whole entire Bitcoin for $300. I still think today, buying at 60,000, you have a better chance of coming out by buying it at 60,000 than you do $300 or $400. Because when it was $300 or $400, the jury was still out. We didn't know if it was ever going to be able to be used, and if it was ever going to acquire any attention at all, or if it was just going to be some geeky little side deal that a bunch of people that like to program played around with. So the fact that it's gotten to be 60,000, it's over $1 trillion now, that has given it a lot of substantial where people now believe that it is actually a competition. There's actually a competition now going on between what is money and how money's going to look like in the future. And I think with Bitcoin at 60 grand, you're seeing that Bitcoin is definitely in the game, and it's not going away. It's not going to be stamped out. It's not rat poison. It's not any of those things, as Warren Buffett would say. It is legitimate, real money that people are putting serious amounts of money into. And that doesn't mean there's not going to be fluctuations. Obviously, it's going to have to get out of the hands of some of the geeky computer guys that were holding a lot of Bitcoin, still are holding a lot of Bitcoin. And as these prices go up and they start to realize that, if I'm in a little bit of money, this could totally change my life. So they may start selling. And obviously, price drops, you're going to see people selling, because there's going to want to be people that have tremendous profits locked in at these prices, and they're not going to want to lose them. So there will be some minor dips, but I think overall the trajectory is going much, much higher. And I really firmly believe that we will see $1 million Bitcoin here pretty quickly. Probably within the next few years, we'll see $1 million Bitcoin. In fact, there's a YouTuber I watch. There's a couple of YouTubers I watch. One of them is a guy, his name is George Gammon. I like George because he tends to be someone that's trying to figure it out just like I'm trying to figure it out. I actually put a comment in his YouTube channel the other day. He put back his cell phone number or his telephone number. I tried to call and he didn't answer, so if you don't answer, George, I can't talk to you. But anyway, if you want to talk it out, I'd love to talk with you about it. If you watch my channel, I watch yours, so if you watch mine, I'd like to talk it out. But he had a YouTube video said, is Bitcoin going to $1 million or going to zero? And of course, he started the video with both. It's both going to 1 million and going to zero, of which I didn't agree with. That's why I put in the comments that I found it entertaining, but I didn't agree with it because it's not going to zero. It's past that point. Once it got to 60,000, we're not going to zero anymore. It's cleared the test of time, and it has now been adopted, and the banks, the world governments are now accepting it, and that's why it's 60 grand. So we are never going to zero. Bitcoin will never be worthless, and I don't care what happens. It is here to stay forever. Bitcoin will be around for the next 1,000 years, if not more. So, or 10,000, or whatever many years you want to say. So Bitcoin's never going to zero. Is it going to $1 million? Of course. It is absolutely going to $1 million. Guaranteed it. I'll guarantee it. As much as my opinion's worth, it's going to $1 million. And the reason why is because you're basing Bitcoin on a paper fiat currency, which is going to zero. Absolutely is going to zero, because they are printing more than they can. They're just printing more without any idea of where it's going, and that's why it's going to zero. Because after so many are printed, they have no value, and that's where we're going. So the dollar will be going to zero, but Bitcoin will never go to zero, because Bitcoin has been accepted as currency and money, and there's this fixed amount. It has a finite amount, and here in the next few years, they're all going to be mined, and at that point, there'll be no more. So it's inflation proof too, except for what the miners make to mine the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, yes, $1 million, zero, no. But the thing I would say that I agreed with about that video is when he said that the government needs Bitcoin to be successful. And I think that's absolutely true. And the reason I think that the governments, not only the government of the United States, but governments around the world needs Bitcoin to be successful, is because there's going to have to be some way of offloading all this debt that is being accumulated right now. There's going to have to be some way of measuring it, some way of being able to make an understanding of everything that's going on in the economy today, as far as the excess stimulus and everything like that. So the governments are starting to realize that cryptocurrency is going to have to be their release valve for all the money that's being printed. There's going to have to be some way of being able to understand it, and the way to do that is going to be through cryptocurrency. That's what's going to happen. So absolutely, and that's why you're seeing adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, is because governments now are accepting it as inevitable. Paper currencies are no longer relevant. They can no longer be used as the only way we measure value. There's going to have to be other ways of measuring value, and the governments are going to have to understand and use crypto as a way of measuring value too, because there's just no way to take this much money, print it, put it out into the universe, and not have some way of being able to at least have some way of understanding it. Not only understanding it, but some way of being able to kind of quantify it and make some sense out of it. And of course, that's going to be cryptocurrency. So yes, going to $1 million, yes, it's going to be around for a long time. And yes, it will be currency of the future. That's my opinion. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.